All right, we're live. This is episode 300. To all the haters out there, you were right. Congratulations. No, we made it 300. I'm like, super excited. I appreciate everybody. Maybe we'll have some surprise guests come through. Maybe not. We have Daredevil to talk about. We have Echo to talk about a little bit. The segues into that. Batman market report, and I don't have pickups, but maybe we have pickups. As usual, let's get this started.
God damn, 300, bro?
300, bro. 300.
300.
Okay, so
you should have called Aaron G, bro.
He won't come on, man.
You want me to take care of it for you, bro?
Hey, next time you see him, dog. Next time you see him, it's on.
I'm on right now.
No, I mean, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit.
He's a popular man.
I guess I always talk about these when we have these. I don't even call them milestones. I didn't think this would last but past 10 episodes.
No shit. I was talking to my kids. I'm like, this episode 300 night to go of what?
Oh boy.
For shame.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and we didn't even do it weekly for the first quite a while.
Yeah. It was brutal.
Like 6 years and some time.
Yeah. It was like once a month, wasn't it? Like once a month for a while.
Once a month or bi-weekly or some shit, man. We were just young pups.
The wife, she didn't congratulate me. She's like, "Oh, big episode 300 today." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
So. You didn't have a wife way back when.
I did not. Didn't even have a kid. Big time. So we changed this.
Well, they go in the other order normally.
I know, right? Hey, I had to start the podcast. They said start your business first for your. No, I'm joking.
You did have a wicked beard though back in the day.
I did. I shaved it a couple days ago. I was getting tired of it.
You're a businessman, CEO. You can't be rocking a beard.
So I'm going to Arizona. I'm gonna meet this guy hopefully in Arizona.
Nice.
Not together maybe, but and then maybe Brian. I'll meet up with Brian. Hopefully, my wife said that I didn't know this was your own personal vacation. You're gonna go do things by yourself. I got a lot of friends in Arizona. I hit up Jesse James. He said, "Hey, I'll make some time for you too." So maybe me and Brian and Jesse James, and then me and Chris can hang out and go to the Grand Canyon. Maybe I'll throw down. Yeah, I'll throw a PGX slab down the Grand Canyon and see if it breaks.
My money's on the slab.
I wouldn't doubt it. It just makes the ditch bigger. So we'll see how that goes. Cool. Look at that. Congratulations. Thanks, man. Look at that. Keep it comics.
Appreciate it.
We're trying, man. We're trying out here. Yeah, so we can start going.
I even brought the hat. You know what I mean?
You did. I can't believe it still fits.
I'm repping the vintage here.
I don't even have anything. I should put the jacket on, but the jacket's back over there.
Where is the jacket? On 300?
I know.
Man, bro.
And then the kid
chain, bro.
Yeah, so the kid steals the chain and he wears it around. He thinks it's hilarious.
You got to raise him right.
Yeah. So he thinks it's hilarious. He runs around and says, "Daddy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's Daddy." All right. Okay. Okay, so
we appreciate everybody paying half attention to us while football's on too.
Hey, I'm up there, boys. We're ready. We're ready to roll up here. Hey, Michigan was out 17-3 for a minute there. They were fucking cooking, and then all of a sudden it wasn't cooking.
Yeah, Leg had to do college football tonight. We could not.
Yeah, I get it.
We could not tame that beast. You know how he is.
I get it. Okay, so starting with news. Daniel Rickman reports claims none other than Muse will be. Oh, look at this guy. Boy, he just says your name like Beetlejuice and you just show up.
I gotta show up, right?
I got you, dog.
I have a question. So for the thumbnail for 301, are you just gonna make the?
I will. Yes. You want me to do that?
I think it'd be funny.
I'll do it. You know, man.
like a deal or flip side.
No,
thumbnail.
300 then 301.
Like yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll say it's maybe we start. This is the first appearance of Yi, and then it'll be the second appearance in that one.
But I did show back up at 298. So
yeah, I mean that happens. Yeah. Okay. So, we're losing. I don't know why we did that. We lost Z too, but it's okay.
You lost two people.
Yeah, we lost everything. You back?
Yeah, I'm dealing with some gremlins apparently.
I got you. So Daniel Rickman reports claims none other than Muse will be the main villain of Daredevil Born Again.
I like how we say no other than Muse, that nobody knew who that was 22 seconds ago.
Yeah, true story.
I don't even know. What's Muse's first appearance? Anybody know?
Daredevil 11, 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, he's on the cover with that, like, the spray paint on the wall in the background, right? And that's him.
I mean, he's got a cool look.
I mean, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. $58, boys.
Is it actually selling?
Yeah,
I saw several listed. I didn't know if any had actually sold.
Well, you know, I'll try to do my thing.
I mean, it's a dangerous gamble on MCU TV villains, man.
$149 one sold for a CGC 98. I don't know what that means, but $40.
I mean, the fact that they're going with characters that are this recent is just, again, I think we've had this conversation before about the MCU don't like going back to the well. They're just like, yo, is there a villain that was made last week? Cool, let's use them in a movie.
We'll see what the reception is.
It's like let's give Blade a daughter and then try and shoot her into the movie. Let's see if that works.
Oh, that's funny. It's like, hey, I know he was in one episode or two episodes or two comic books. That's fine. 11 and 12, but we'll make it work. We got enough material here.
But did they have a big enough fan base to even justify that? Like, because I mean, who's reading that?
I mean, okay. So I talk about this. Since you guys talk about that, let's talk about this. Who would you like to see?
I mean,
like on Disney Plus.
I mean, it's supposed to be mature, right? We're going right.
Yeah, I mean,
Lady Deadshot.
I mean, I kind of
Lady Bullseye.
I want Bullseye before we get Lady Bullseye. They left us on that cliffhanger at the end of season 3, and that segues us into the next conversation. But I mean, it's all connected now. So
hey, man, hey, Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin. He can't play Bullseye and the Penguin.
The Penguin is that doing a season 2? The season 1 drop already?
Yeah, better. I mean, I honestly, I that's a good point. I didn't think about that. They did Bullseye in that shitty Ben Affleck movie, but a better version of Bullseye would be.
Well, no, I mean, Bullseye was in. I mean, he wasn't officially called Bullseye, but like the Poindexter character was in season 3.
He was definitely Bullseye.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, so there was the stinger of the end of season 3 of the Netflix stuff where he, gets severely injured and they're loading him up with adamantium.
Yeah.
But then we never got a follow-up season of that. But apparently we kind of are now. So that's why I'm saying it makes sense to have Bullseye that to pull that story in where we get Bullseye in some capacity. Because
a better version of the Hand.
I can't handle the Hand anymore.
Yeah, no more Hand. I mean, they beat that horse to no end in the Netflix stuff.
Brian, any takers on a new Daredevil? Who you'd like to see as a villain besides this Muse person?
No, but I will say this. Can you guys hear me okay? You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
Happy fucking 300th episode. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro.
Kill the big man's in.
That's that.
So I'm gonna roll up a 300th episode blunt. I'm gonna smoke it with you guys downstairs, and then I'll move upstairs after we're done. So,
Nice.
Yeah. So just like old times, right?
Old times.
So, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So
for me, real Typhon and Mary. I mean, fuck, I wish that fucking thing was.
Did she show up? Yeah, sort of half-ass.
We briefly got her. I mean, they kind of. I will say, for all of Netflix's positivity, they kind of shit the bed on some of the villains a little bit, except for Kingpin.
Cottonmouth was solid.
Yeah,
Cottonmouth. You smoking weed now, Z?
But the thing was, though, we got Cottonmouth for what, a half a season, before because he was the initial. I mean, that first season had what, 3 villains?
Yeah.
So
They
I mean,
did pretty good with the Purple Man in Jessica Jones.
I agree.
Yeah, I will give you that. But yeah, those later seasons of Jessica Jones was like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
like Nuke, it was like, what? Why? Nobody cared about Nuke like when he was current. Like, the better villains out there.
Yeah. There's really not. I mean, this is. It's going to be Doctor Doom. He's going to come up in Daredevil. Fuck it.
I mean, we could see the Owl or Stilt Man or all of them.
I mean, let's be real about it. Daredevil has kind of with the exception of Bullseye and Kingpin, and I mean Punisher to a certain degree, he's got some of the weakest rogues of any superhero.
Yeah, but he can also like cross over with some of the low-level Spider-Man stuff, and he's got any of the street-level base he could do.
Yeah, true. I mean, well, that's one of the things that's being whispered and murmured is that they want Spider-Man 4 to be really a Daredevil and Spider-Man movie.
That would be dope.
I like that.
But then they still want a third, like, major Marvel character to make an appearance, and apparently they're leaning towards Ant-Man. So it'll be an Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Daredevil movie potentially.
I mean, it makes sense. Paul Rudd's likable.
Yeah, I could see that.
They should have killed him.
They should have killed him.
Yep. That's where Marvel totally fucked up, is by not killing Paul Rudd in the Kang movie.
Well, no, what they fucked up was letting Kang die in that movie. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I mean, it was a knee-jerk reaction because that stuff had already happened with, like, Jonathan Majors was already in a bad place, and so they were like, if we need to pivot out, like, away from him, let's give ourselves an out. So that's what that feels like the response was to what happened. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. So we talked about Daredevil the Muse. That's good. Marvel Studios seems to confirm Netflix's Daredevil series is MCU canon finally.
Yep. So it's between the most recent Echo trailer, actually not the most recent because they legitimately put one out today. So the one that came out prior to today, and then also there's a fight scene in there where she's fighting somebody and then Daredevil intervenes. That scene leaked, and it's a full-on old costume Daredevil fight scene. And so the powers that be over at, from a showrunner perspective on Echo and other people who have been working at Marvel for a while now, finally came out and were just like, well, we've been like tiptoeing around it, but now we've gotten the official word that we can say that Netflix is canon to the MCU. And so that did not go away. So apparently the belief is that Echo, at least at one point, had a run-in with Daredevil back when she was a teenager. So that's the scene where we see him in his original red costume. And
they're in like a chop shop or something.
Yeah. And John was making a point that it's like, well, this doesn't seem like to be the same Daredevil. It's like, well, this is post-snap Daredevil at this point, because like the snap takes place before, like after the events of season 3 of Daredevil. And then that was 5 years plus whatever other time period has happened since then. We're probably at least in timeline wise 6 years removed from the events of Daredevil 3. And
you know what go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No, I was going to say that, and with season 3 of Daredevil, he was starting to make the turn to being a more hopeful character. Like, I mean, spoiler alert for a 3-year-old season of television, but his mom was introduced. He had a relationship with her. I think the character was they were trying to bring him out of being like grimdark. And so I could see that still being the Daredevil that we see in the yellow costume come, She-Hulk. So it can all still work.
You know what they should do? They should utilize this Secret Wars, Battle World, multiverse thing and erase the snap. Erase Thanos, erase all that shit. Start it over. I feel like they need to start it over, right? Like figure out a way. The snap messed everything up. I feel like, it was great when it happened, but in the long run, it's caused nothing but these weird timeline problems. And, Thanos isn't around anymore. Quit killing off bad guys, that type of thing. I feel like they should start it over somehow.
So funny that you mentioned that. So the book that came out back in October, MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios. One of the things that they mentioned in there is that it was revealed by people in and around Marvel before they closed ranks. Is that Secret Wars will be a soft reboot of canon, basically. So
Nice.
so
Nice. Fucking
we're-
A.
the snap will probably still have taken place, but we're going to get a basically, post all new Avengers type of world, where we get to see the original set of Avengers return again with new actors. Because again, they realize that unfortunately, they just have too much invested in those original characters to
Yep.
try and pivot to a bunch of new characters. I mean, hell, you can see it in What If. They didn't tell a single story for the most part, with the exception of the original one that didn't involve that original set of Avengers. They can't get away from it. So I think they'll find a way to shoehorn in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and the Young Avengers, but the world will have new people playing Iron Man and probably Captain America and anybody else who's been killed off or just is getting a little too expensive for their contract.
Do you think that they have enough money to do these huge Avengers movies, X-Men movies, Fantastic Four movies, and then all the little shit below? I mean, I also feel like they should just key in on the X-Men and Fantastic Four and let the Avengers characters be like side characters that only show up, you don't have to do movies on them anymore type thing. They just show up
as cameos or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's what's done this phase a disservice, because there has not been an Avengers movie in it. I mean, that's a big part of why this phase doesn't feel real.
I get it.
Or doesn't feel right. It's because that was always like a capstone piece of the phases was, okay, and now we have our Avengers movie to solidify, and then it's a continuation, and then we move on from whatever has been established. I mean, because even if you go back to the original runs, like you had, Avengers 1 and 2, you then had Civil War, which is basically 2.5, and then you had, the Endgame or you had, Infinity War and Endgame. So there was always, a couple movies and then a palate cleanser of an Avengers movie, and we haven't had that. And so
we had the Marvels that combined all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, was anyone ever excited about any of the titles in Phase 4 when you saw the release titles?
Other than Guardians, not really.
I mean, no,
exactly.
I don't know. I was excited about, I was in the room. Again, it was it was the effect of being there and seeing it happen, and seeing all the title cards and stuff. But I was excited about it.
And then other people like-minded having the same reaction, and then all the oohs and ahs.
Yeah, I mean, it was if I go back to where I was at that moment in time, it was the wonder of the possibility. That's really what it was. I mean, I think now we're having the unfortunate, we're jaded now, and it's the hindsight's 2020. But in that moment, man, you couldn't tell me that Blade wasn't about to be the biggest shit coming, that Eternals wasn't going to be amazing.
Yeah. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
I mean,
that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, Chloe Zhao had just won the Oscar, and we're like, oh shit, we got Chloe Zhao, and Chloe Zhao, and she's doing the Eternals, and it's like they showed that initial artwork. You're like, what the fuck is this movie about to be? And you're like, Mahershala Ali comes in and basically does the mic drop on being Blade. The Black Widow. I mean, they showed that the fight scene from Black Widow, where she and Yelena have their first fight in the movie. They showed that clip in the room. I mean, it was that announcement and then also fast forward to D23, there was, talk of Werewolf by Night, She-Hulk, and all this other stuff. It was like, I mean, we were all primed and ready to go. They just didn't live up to expectations. That's really what it boils down to.
Okay. Gotcha. No, it makes more sense though.
Yeah. Well, I think that first run of shows was a little higher. I don't know, gave you what you wanted a little more than the following shows. The original Loki and the Winter Soldier and Falcon and stuff, that gave you kind of what you were expecting, and then everything else kind of has deviated and been a little different.
I mean, they didn't capitalize on it. It's pure and simple. I mean, don't get me wrong. We weren't super hot coming out of that first set of television shows, but we weren't cold. You're like, okay, you got us. All you need to do is continue to capitalize on this, and they just did. And everything that came to follow. I mean, Spider-Man was okay, and like again, it was a lot of okay movies, and then we started getting a lot of bad movies, and it's like, well, shit, what do we do there?
Hey, it's Bill Belichick and the Patriots right now, man. Dynasty's over, dog. Not joking. So we talked about this. We talked about that.
Dude, I feel like I got snapped back to Flipside, bro.
Whoa!
You made it back.
Look, we got the band back together, bro.
Good. So
It's
the
like
thing
the
too,
fucking Eagles, dude. You know,
the Eagles.
the Hell Freezes Over tour. You know,
This is 99. It's like it's like even 99 going
Hotel
into 2000.
California going?
shit. Brian looks like he's about to sing it.
I was hoping we might see fucking some of the old school guys, man.
Paul's made the last couple of weeks, but he's out this week.
Yeah. Rick has a kid for the last like 3 years, so he really can't do anything. What was I going to tell you? Remember we talked about Punisher killing the Marvel Universe is going to kill the Marvel Universe? Remember that back in the day? Like, how do we end this thing? It was Punisher's going to answer all the questions. Very interesting.
Now
It
it's
could be
doomed.
Deadpool. It could be Deadpool now.
I mean, we know for a fact that Deadpool is going to be fourth wall breaking. Like one of the leaks is straight up them fighting in front of the 20th Century Fox sign. So like it's going to break fourth walls. So
That is cool.
Do you guys think that movie's going to be any good?
it's
I think
got to
it's gonna
be.
great.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are saying the same thing, Brian. Like, I don't know. It's better be good. It's like, well, I mean, that's again with expectations, right? I mean, you can't put expectations way up here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking Deadpool movie.
I mean, it's the
The
only
expectation
release this
between
year.
Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Logan.
I mean, it's the only release they have to focus their attention on all year long.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
there's
getting-
nothing else.
I'm getting feelings of the Flash again, though.
Oh,
Everybody was saying how. No, hold on. Everybody was saying how great that movie was. That James
Oh, yeah.
Gunn couldn't get him to do this, to change it, and they didn't. Everybody that saw it thought it was amazing, and it was going to save everything, and it was going to flip everything. Right? They were going to use the timeline multiverse shit to change everything and fix it. And they didn't get rid of the dude because the actor because it was so good.
Mm.
I mean, that's what it feels like. It was like it was the saving of the DC entertainment universe, right? It feels almost exactly the same. The Flash is kind of the funny, goofy cornball of the group. Like, I hope to God it isn't just a cameo fest. You know, a cheesy cameo fest, really corny jokes. You know, that type of stuff.
I mean, it's absolutely going to be a cameo fest. Let's be real about it.
But it
It's
doesn't
just
have the pressure of being like the
Yeah.
reboot either.
You don't think so?
No.
What did you guys just all say when I said, is it going to be good? You guys all said it's got to be.
Well, I mean, in the sense that, like, not necessarily.
Ryan
like,
Reynolds
it's
isn't
got
putting out shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Z. I agree. I think Ryan Reynolds is one of the few saviors of this thing. Like, hopefully he won't let it be.
Yeah, and I guess to clarify, when I say it's got to be, I don't mean like it's got to be to save Marvel. I mean like if you focus 100% of your attention and effort, and like this is getting back to like the Feige's of the world, like focusing their singular, train of thought and effort.
Iron Man 1 was like the first Marvel movie, and they put all their fucking effort into that movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's got to be good because like all of the people who make the good films are invested into this one movie.
Yeah.
There's not 10 things that they got to split their difference on, and Feige's not up on the mountaintop anymore, being like, yeah, do whatever. It's okay. He's back in like the chair, and he's like, hey, working with Ryan Reynolds, working with the writers. Ryan Reynolds got his guy again. It's all the pieces are there for this to be successful. I mean, don't get me wrong, like they can still drop the ball, but this isn't like, oh, we threw it to some no-name, journeyman director who's just being told what to do by the studio. And Feige's like, still doing the whole we'll get it in editing thing, but he's not there to sit down and watch the footage and editing to pick out a perfect movie. Like we're back to the point, like Dino said, we're back to Iron Man 1 era. We're back to Avengers 1 era where it's like instead of there being 15 projects, legitimately there is one. There is one project because nothing else is happening right now until next year. Like they're casting at best for stuff for next year. So,
well, I think
Again,
too.
you already have built-in chemistry. You know those guys have chemistry. You know that's going to be good. You're not burning all of the rest of the storyline. And, like Ant-Man, they took away a lot of his supporting cast. It just didn't work.
And the cameos that we're going to get, we're invested in the cameos, whereas the Flash's cameos were kind of bullshit. I mean, and say what you will. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoyed Far From Home. The cameos in Far From Home, like, you're like, oh, man, it's Alfred Molina again. Oh, it's what's his face? It's the Green Goblin.
It's nostalgia, right?
Yeah. Like, I think
it didn't seem forced.
Exactly. I mean, having the actress who played X-23 come back, even if in a small capacity, like don't get me wrong, we will have probably one of those cameos that's very Flash-esque of a thing that was supposed to happen that never did in the form of Gambit. But I think still that Channing Tatum's probably got enough goodwill that if he does make a cameo as Gambit, people will be like, awesome. That's what we always wanted and just never got. Congratulations to him to get to be able to, or Channing Tatum, because he was full on supposed to be Gambit, and that shit like just fell apart because Fox fell apart.
Well, I think too is like I listened to a couple people like Taylor Sheridan, the guy who does Yellowstone and Sons of Anarchy and all that stupid shit. So he was on Rogan. He talked about like the process a little bit. The only good part of it was he talked about how like, so he's up at like he does like a 12 or 14-hour shoot day. Then he watches all the shit and does editing for like 6. You know what I'm saying? So he watches all the shit he might have to redo for like 6 hours, and he only gets like 4 hours of sleep, and that's what he's doing at the end of the day. I mean, that's like Feige, right? He can't be doing like he only has 24 hours in a day. Like you can't do 3 films. I mean, that's what Clint Eastwood said. He said he was at a round table once, and he was talking about directing and stuff like that. Just the whole process. He goes, you know what I do? He goes, I direct. I tell him, I watch you film in the morning. I do things we need to talk about. I line everything up. And I go golfing and come back at like 4 or 5 because I got seasoned veterans and people who I trust to take care of the movie. I watch the film at the, I watch the edits we need to do at the end, and that's kind of it. I mean, that's like you said, that's what Feige needs to get back to. Like you said, having maybe more veteran directors and stuff like that at the end of the day, right? Right, Chris? Not like one-off guys who made 3 movies and like, well, here's a Marvel project. Like I feel like it's like,
oh, you're saying that's a giant jump from like using like your handheld camera or whatever they're using. Not even their own equipment and versus using big studio money and all that.
I guess it kind of maybe equated back to like comedians back in the day, right? Every comedian who was hot, right, got a TV show. That was the big thing, right? Yes. So every comedian got a TV show. Well, how many comedians' TV shows failed, right? Because they just, they had 3 good sets, and they like, oh, they're going to Hollywood, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, Dino, you're absolutely right. So it's the concept of the development deal is what you're referring to. It's like, oh, you're a hot comedian right now, throw them a development deal, give them a shit ton of money, and basically the studio gets first denial rights, yada yada, on whatever you put out. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. A lot of that shit failed. Like Kevin Hart's thing bombed. A lot of other people, Joe Rogan never got a single fucking thing off the ground. He had a development deal.
Even in the 90s, countless of those fucking comedians in the 90s where everything was on NBC, ABC. But it's like they're giving directors development deals off of 3 fucking movies.
Shit, off of 3 movies, off of one. I mean, Josh Trank basically did Chronicle, and then they gave him fucking Fantastic Four, and he was supposed to do a Star Wars movie. Yeah. Off of the strength of just doing Chronicle.
Yeah, that's what kills me. It's like, it's a talent evaluation, right, or anything like that when you come to hiring in a company, right? If somebody did one project good, you're not going to make them director of the fucking department. Like, I need more.
Oh, you're not going to make them a project manager after one good job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, Marvel.
I'm gonna have to run the company.
Yeah, Marvel's done both extremes though. Like they went through the process of like, oh, you're the new hot director. Let's throw you a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and you have no idea how to shoot action or anything like that. Yeah. And then they pulled that back, and then they went with people who could just they could control, and then that didn't work. So they found some healthy balances with directors who had vision, who could do it right. They lost some people who had vision and can do it right, like Edgar Wright's, Ant-Man movie that never happened because he couldn't fit into the Marvel machine at the time. They were very much so a little too hands-on for his taste, and he walked away. I think they need to find people who have a certain level of vision, but at the end of the day like an Edgar Wright, people who can make a movie, who can come in on time and under budget, generally are liked by everybody they work with, and can and can produce a solid product. Like, stay away from the Chloe Zhao's. Like, she's cool, but coming off of like her big like independent pieces that were Oscar bait, she doesn't know how to make action films. If anything, actually, a valid point is that homeboy who directed John Wick recently said that he would like a crack at Blade, and that's the type of person you need. Somebody who came up in the ranks as second unit guy, who did all the special effects stuff, and then learned the ropes of being a director. But at the end of the day, is a strong special effects person and a strong action person. Like, let them tell a good story in that manner. But yeah,
who's also the guy that was the body double for the Brendan Lee Crow, by the way.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean, Chris makes a great point. Like, who was that? Jan de Bont. He was on Die Hard. He did work with special effects, and then he went on to do Speed, right? So to direct Speed.
I mean, James Cameron, another one. I mean, he started out in the special effects realm, learned the ropes, and then transitioned into being director. But he knew how to frame like photography, like how to shoot action, and then took those skills into making some of the best action films of all time. So it's something to be said about, like, you can't have people who don't understand what's even happening from an action perspective when 90% of your movie's action. Like, that doesn't work.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like they're trying to like do like these crazy things with these characters that they don't understand also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wouldn't change it up that much for a character that, like the famous thing that Taika Waititi said, like, he didn't even read any Thor. Like, what? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, that he didn't use any source material.
That was
like
nuts.
or whatever.
Yeah.
No, he just said he didn't read any. He's like, I didn't read any of the comic. I didn't want to. It was like, what? Even if that's not true, why say it?
Well, he's also a nut, but like that first movie he did was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a healthy balance between having people who read the source material, people who have never read the source material, because like a lot of our early superhero films were people who got their hands on properties who looked at comic books like they were a dirty word. Like, Bryan Singer didn't want to, like, they had to sneak Hugh Jackman copies of the X-Men comics because they were not allowed to have comic books on set. Like, he thought it was like, he was like ashamed. He was like, no. We're making a serious film here. We're not making some like hokey. Because I mean, again, like, we were coming off of the days of like, the mid-90s Batman, and it had become like corny to make a comic book accurate or relatively comic book accurate superhero film. So it's like, get rid of the costumes, no spandex. We're doing black leather. We're doing tactical. It's going to feel like it could exist in the real world. And I mean, those movies were decent, but yeah, like they had to sneak Hugh Jackman Wolverine stories because he had no idea like who Wolverine was as a character. He thought legitimately Wolverine was a wolf when he did his audition, because he had never heard of an actual of Wolverine or of a Wolverine. So he was like, did some weird shit in his interview. You can look it up. It's really funny because he goes in there and he's like doing these weird body movements. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm a wolf. He says, well, the character's a Wolverine. And he goes, well, that's not a real thing. Yeah, it is.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's funny.
Let's talk about the other side. DC Studios co-head James Gunn says Matt Reeves' Batman Arkham series in development is set in new DCU.
Yeah, so people thought that this was supposed to be a continuation of his great, grander Elseworld Batverse type stuff. And Gunn came out on, of course, Twitter, because that's where he responds to everybody at, and was like, no, this is legit in DCU. This takes place with Brave and the Bold and, the Creature Commandos and all that shit. Like, it is in canon of DCU, his Arkham Asylum. Which is interesting
everything's supposed to be in continuity for this thing, which is badass.
Well, but which is confusing though, because Matt Reeves seemed like he didn't want to have shit to do with that greater universe. He seemed like he wanted to keep his toys separate.
That money talks people into some crazy shit, dude.
No, you're realistically probably not wrong, but like he made it sound like, oh, I mean, there's nothing else. He wanted to keep his Batman the hell away from the rest of that universe. But yeah, I guess
Maybe
they're going to
James Gunn. And James Gunn just was like, talked a really good game. Like, hey, this is what we want to do. You can do what you want to do in the Batverse, but we just want it to be in continuity. We want to make it matter. And he's like, we'll give you a 3-movie deal or something, and you can direct, this and that.
But that's got to be some weird cognitive dissonance, though, to have to write because again, Batman is still separate. Like his Batman is still separate, so he's writing stuff and side stories for a whole separate universe. But then
hold on, explain. I'm too stoned. I'm not understanding this.
So
you're telling me that the Matt Reeves stuff that he already did
is outside of canon, but he's continuing to do that stuff. So we're getting the Penguin spinoff, we're getting the Batman 2, whatever he does in that universe. But then they also want him to do a Arkham Asylum piece that is in continuity. So he's got one hand in his own little universe, and then is basically shooting balls into the DC universe of here. I'm also doing Arkham Asylum stuff. I think, that's a problem because no matter how good he is at separating how he envisions things, there is going to be bleed over. Like there's going to be creative bleed over, and people are going to get confused. Like you can't have something be dark and gritty, and maybe he can turn it off and turn it on like that. But a Matt Reeves Arkham Asylum is probably going to taste a little like a Batman, and the average normie is going to probably struggle with separating those two worlds from each other.
Well, it's like Harley Quinn. We talked about that, right? Like it's Margot Robbie, right? Now it's Lady Gaga. And an average fan's gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?" I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, theoretically,
oh yeah,
I know.
Man isn't seeing both of those movies.
Oh, or where the everyday fan's gonna be like, "Oh, why did they recast Margot Robbie?"
Yeah, even though Margot Robbie just came out and said that Harley Quinn should be anybody, not just me, which I get that too,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really going to be. I mean, when you see the name of Matt Reeves, who bought you the Batman, and is doing another, and you're like, I mean, people are going to be confused. They're going to be like, okay, like it's different when like two different directors, different. You can find a way to explain that away. But when it is the same goddamn director, and you go, wait a minute, so this was written by this guy, but it's part of this world, and this was written by this guy, and it's hard enough to keep it straight when you're reading a fucking comic book being like, oh yeah, Charles Soule did this, he also did this, but those two things aren't connected to each other. It's like,
well, especially like it's like watching Tarantino films, right? Like, oh, they're all in the same kind of vein, but it's like say Matt Reeves becomes one of the greatest directors ever, and it's like, oh, we're gonna have a Matt Reeves marathon. It's gonna get real fucking confusing.
Well, people inherently, even though like Tarantino has made it clear that like that is not a connected universe of his movies, people still try to do that. People will still try to like piece together a narrative between his films just because it's his style is in all of them together. And so
he always has like the Apple branded cigarettes everywhere in all his films or whatever.
Exactly. Like you can go online, you can find actual timelines where people are trying to piece together that all of those things happen in the same universe, like throughout history.
I mean, look at Disney cartoon movies, right? All the animated movies, they try to piece in together because Monsters Inc. has this and Toy Story has this, and it's just like.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have Matt Reeves do an Arkham Asylum piece, I think you're going to end up creating like. It's bad for business. I think I get it. He's a great director. He makes great shit. Go find somebody else. Go find somebody else.
Let him get done with what he's doing and then do it.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the one with Han Solo? How it's connected with Star Wars and Indiana Jones? Have you heard that one? So when he's frozen in carbonite, that's the Indiana Jones like dream sequence.
He's dreaming. Yeah, I have heard this. This,
and then like there's certain things like there's like the golden skull from Indiana Jones. You see it in Star Wars, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. If the movies rock, the world they're in won't matter as much.
Well, they put E.T. in the Phantom Menace. Remember in the Galactic Senate, and they're all like, "Hey,
yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
fuck this shit."
No, I mean Tony's not wrong. Like at the end of the day, if the movie's good, people aren't going to care. Yeah. But like, and I mean, like us as a bunch of talking heads in like comic book geekdom world, like we're going to have more of an issue with it than probably the normies will. But I do know that like I talk to people who are like casual fans, like my partner, like she is a casual fan. She ain't hardcore into the nerdy stuff. And I had to explain to her, I'm like, no. That's not part of this world. And she's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, no. That Batman is not this Batman. She's like, well, but they already have a good Batman. Why would they not just pull? I'm like, because they don't want to do that. It's Elseworld. Disregard it. You're not going to see that guy playing Batman. Because I started talking about Alan Richardson potentially playing Batman. She's like, they already have a Batman. I was like, no, they don't. They haven't cast Batman yet. She's like, but we just saw the Batman movie. I was like, that's not the same. Let it go.
Yeah, Batman's Harry Potter.
Yeah, Batman's Harry Potter. Or no, Batman. My wife call it Batman's Twilight.
Well, but he was not Harry Potter, but he was in Harry Potter first.
Yeah, my boy.
But I mean, the joy that for my wife is she doesn't remember any of it for 6 seconds, other than fucking Aquaman.
I forget Aquaman. Did you watch the new Aquaman movie?
No, I'm just gonna wait. No, everybody's been like, you can wait. It'll be on HBO Max soon.
I get it.
It's real bad. It's real bad.
Oh boy.
Well, when my kids have no desire to go, I'm like, I can wait an extra couple weeks for most of this.
Don't put yourself through it. Just don't see it. I mean, I saw it because I was like, cool. I need to see the end of this thing all the way through.
You're saying I don't even want to put the time in?
It's not worth your fucking time. Wow. Like Jason Momoa didn't feel like it was worth your time. Legitimately, he is not in costume. He wore what he wore to set, and they were like, we're rolling. Like dead ass. He is in his straight bohemian wear. He's got like 5 rings on each hand. He's wearing like some linen shit. I'm like, there's a point where he's just riding a motor, like he's riding like a custom Harley in a scene for no fucking reason at all. Like it is truly Jason Momoa just, and I'm pretty sure he was actively drunk through most of it.
Oh, so his cameo appearance on the flash rate or whatever.
Dude, no, I'm dead ass because like he opens up a fridge in the movie and pulls out like a Guinness for him and his dad, and the fridge is full of nothing but Guinness, and I'm pretty sure it was real fucking Guinness, and I'm sure it was. He is actively drinking the entire time that he was shooting that scene. I mean, he just phones it in. I mean, like he couldn't even be bothered to do like that iconic like bullshit yell that he does. Like they ADR'd it in. Like there's a scene where they do the pause and fade to black in the middle of the movie. Like some 90s like scene transitionary made for TV movie type shit. They did a pause while somebody was screaming at the screen and faded to black. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like
hey, we need 10 seconds here. Let's do it this way. Fuck it.
So he's just like, I'm just waiting to be Lobo, guys.
No, I mean, yeah, I think at this point, like it is truly I'm not upset about this because I've already solidified my next gig in the DCEU. Or the DCU.
But let's be honest too. Momoa is not fucking who played the Joker there.
Jesus, if you want to ask me,
no, the new Joker. Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. He's not fucking Joaquin Phoenix when it comes to acting. He is The Rock, right? It's the same fucking person in every movie he plays. Like,
But I mean, he didn't even. I mean, again, he's normally super likable and fun to watch, and he's like one of 7 people you're like, man, you'd be cool to have a beer with. Yeah. He just phoned everybody.
Well, potentially, like he just did so many reshoots, he just gave up.
Yeah. I mean, they phoned this in. I mean, everybody on set is just like, I don't give a shit. Like
they work at my place. Damn.
I mean, what's catching up drinking beers with everyone? So you know.
Yeah, because I mean, like, what's his face? The guy who played William Dafoe. William Dafoe didn't even come back. They killed him off screen. Like. They killed William Dafoe off screen. He's like, fuck this, I'm not coming back. It ain't worth the money.
Aquaman presented by Guinness. Let's go. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, every single body, like Dolph Lundgren could give 2 shits. You can tell all day. Patrick Wilson kind of is trying, but like not enough. He's already checked out. They reduced what's her name to a bunch of pee jokes, basically. What's Space's ex-wife?
Amber Heard.
Yeah, Amber Heard got reduced to a bunch of pee, like manipulating like pee to have. They used that joke twice. There is a scene where their son is like he's changing the diaper and the kid pees in Jason Momoa's face. 5 minutes later, they run that exact same joke back. He dodges, and she uses her water bending technique to put it into his face again. I was like,
oh my God.
We're doing piss jokes. We're doing piss jokes, and we are 30 minutes into this movie.
Well, at least they didn't do shit jokes, right? Because she shit on his bed, right?
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
I mean, but yeah, none of these people seem to give two shits about what they were in. Like,
well, I mean, if you rewrite and redo, at some point, people just say, fuck it.
Hey, bro, Martin Short was in there?
Yeah,
what
he was a voice. He was a voice of a crab. No, sorry. The guy who played Gimli was a voice of a crab. Martin Short was the voice of a hammerhead shark. And he was legitimately in one scene that lasted for maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, we had talking fish?
Yep, we had talking fish. We had
this is like Aquaman from like the fucking 60s and 70s cartoons.
We had a city called Necros. Keep in mind, it's a city of the dead, but they weren't the dead when the city was originally created. So why the fuck is the city named Necros? Like, it's shit like that. It's just bad story writing where it's like we just didn't care. Like, we just
I'm renaming this episode 300, and Colbert's great review for Aquaman.
Yeah,
I mean, I was just pissed off because it was a waste of my time. It was a waste of my fucking time.
Well, at least I didn't waste money on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about that movie. I watched John Wick 4 yesterday a little bit, in and out. I thought it was okay. I thought the first John Wicks were better than 4, but that's just my opinion. It was just straight like murder porn for like the first.
But I like the end because it's like a throwback to the Warriors.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, holy shit, how many people can he kill?
Yeah, but that didn't really save the movie either. And you would have
it gave you what you wanted, though.
Yeah, it was a good like throwback to that.
Hey, hold on real quick. Is that shit true? I've been seeing it all over Instagram and TikTok that James Cameron stole the Terminator idea from this lady. That she wrote The Matrix and the Terminator, and that Neo is actually Sarah Connor's son, and they're connected.
Haven't seen that one.
They stole that idea from her, and allegedly she's won some lawsuits. Then
this girl Harla Ellison.
What?
Yeah,
is that Harlan Ellison?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Harlan Ellison, prolific sci-fi guy.
Yeah. I want to say
no. It's a lady.
Well, I was going to say that this guy sued years ago and won both for The Matrix and for Terminator because he had written stuff that nobody can truly say, but it looks a lot like what they put out, and that maybe they heard it somewhere, or maybe somebody read something and mentioned it to them.
This girl, Sophie.
Well, I mean, Harlan put out so much stuff. Like some of those early guys put out so much stuff. It's hard not to say something is tied to something they wrote.
Again, I don't know if this website's legit. So Sophia Stewart, writer and paralegal, continues to maintain that films are based on her ideas.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Matrix and Terminator here.
Yeah. So this one didn't stick, but the Harlan ones I think did.
Yeah.
And the Wachowskis definitely had to pay out. And so what's funny about that is, so again, a little inside baseball in Hollywood is that, like, there used to be a time in Hollywood where you could potentially send a script into the Hollywood to a studio. Somebody would potentially read it, and if they liked it enough, they would actually potentially try and buy it from you. That was a thing kind of in like the late 70s, the 80s, and even into the early 90s. Now, if you send something into a studio, they immediately delete it or throw it in the trash because they don't want to get sued on the possibility that somebody looked at your shit and got potentially influenced by it. So now they don't even glance at it. Like people, if you
because it's unsolicited material or whatever.
Yep, and if you can prove that they had your script in their possession and they did something that resembles it, then you could win the lawsuit. So they just trash it now. Like it doesn't. Nobody will even glance at it. Unless it's potentially, it has to be solicited. You have to have proper representation. They had to make sure that all the proper shit was signed over, But yeah, like they don't want to run the risk of somebody glancing at your shit and then they got stuck in their head and they used some reference to something that they read, 5 years ago, and then you sue them for it.
I saw James Cameron at a Denny's and slipped him my fucking screenplay. Okay.
Yeah.
He was either Grand Slam. That's good.
That shit
Well,
probably
can you imagine how hard it is to come up with an original idea at this point in time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that was the whole AI debate, right?
1,000 movies and books and.
Well, that was the whole AI debate, right? That's why the whole AI got involved because they were like, "Fuck this! If the writers can't come up, AI will. Fuck it." Okay. A market report time, Mr. Z. If you want to.
All right. Do a little. Yeah. I apologize. I got chasing kids, so I did a lot of starting and intended it to be real in depth, but it is not.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is 300. We're better than this.
We're not.
God damn it! No, I'm just playing.
All right, I don't even know what this one is. This one might be for the crew because I didn't even know about this one.
Oh, yeah.
Abe Sapien 9 variant, $300 and $350 for a raw.
Wow.
What?
Right?
I've seen it, but never seen it in the wild before.
Yeah, so it must be a fairly rare print type variant thing. I would pass this book 100 times out of 100 and not think about it.
Yeah.
So
there's really? That book? Oh, okay. So that's 5. Okay. Interesting. Because it has the same type of thing. Okay. Yeah. Number 5 not worth a lot. Interesting. It must be something with 6 for some reason.
It's all black cover too, though. So that's a bitch. Interesting. So yeah, who knew? Dark Horse is some weird shit, man. If you're a Dark Horse expert, God love you, because there's a lot of shit there going on. Mm-hmm. Classic headlights cover.
Yep.
That's a real nice presenting 1/8, honestly. Like if you're looking for a buy-in copy, that one looks nice.
It does.
And we only really care about certain parts of that issue. So this one was surprisingly low. I was watching it and I probably should have bid, but I think I just got distracted. It wasn't a Sunday end. Maybe it was a Sunday end and I was watching something. I don't know. But considering Mexicans have been the Navarros have been coming up close to not parity with the American ones, but usually they're within a third to a half, and this is maybe a fifth or less of a U.S. issue. So
I've got the Mexican reprint of this that was in like 1972 or something like that, 76.
Several of these get printed more than once, like the Green Lantern 1 does. Some of them got reprinted several times, but the original ones, like I said, they've really kind of latched on collectors. The Navarro first DC run and the La Prensa Marvel stuff have really kind of, American collectors are starting to appreciate those. I think maybe it's because it's like Canada, it's our neighbor, we get it. This one was for Brian because I knew he was coming. I didn't know O-Pee-Chee did Batman cards.
Yep.
So
any Topps cards back in the day, O-Pee-Chee had the chance to redo them in Canada, if I remember correctly. So, and I think the backs are different, right? Are the backs a different color? I might be wrong about that.
Well, the backs are lighter. It's almost like the Topps traded. You know how they have like a matte finish to the back instead of the cardboard finish?
Oh, you can kind of see it in the small picture, like that orange background.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it was more just interesting to me. I mean, I knew they had the sports stuff. I just didn't know it extended back this far and back.
This person put another video. We talked about it last week. This guy put a video in it.
I couldn't get videos to run, though.
Okay.
I don't know. I've tried a couple, and I don't get them run.
Cool with the video, man.
Yeah.
Did you try on the computer or did you try on your phone?
No, I'm only on my phone usually when I do these. I was gonna say a low grade bone, but a upper low grade bone, $1,000 for an 8.0, which is still a pretty impressive sale.
Yeah,
this is one of those properties that I think could continue to go up more than the rest of us expect.
How many copies do we think are out there of the first printing?
Is this the one that's? I get confused between the different books.
I've got the 6 print.
Is this 10,000 print runner?
Let's see here. All right. It says here that Bone was launched bi-monthly, $2.95. Very low first print, very low distribution. The low distribution coupled with preceding popularity of the comic. It doesn't say how many copies.
It's less than 10. I mean, it's no more than 10. get confused between the different books. I want to say it's closer to 3 to 5, but I won't swear my life on it.
Estimated Recalled Comics says estimated quantity is 3,000.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. But
It's rare. I mean, it's definitely rare. You only see a handful of them.
Oh, check this out. Bone previously appeared. Okay, Tales from the Lantern. The Thorn had less than 1,000 copies.
Yeah, that one's a bitch. I remember Tim got one of those, and somebody else did. Somebody else scored one. That's a ghost of a book, and you pretty much had to be in it.
3,000 probably right on Recalled, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's probably far. I mean, it might be 5, but it's not. It's not a lot more. This book continues to not impress.
2,000 is the print run.
What'd you say?
Roughly 2,000. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Roughly 2,000 is the print run on it.
On the Bone?
This is coming from Comic Link.
Okay. I mean, I don't doubt it. It's not a lot.
Yeah, 400 on the census according to our boy House of Stein, Mr. Stein.
With a print run of roughly 2,000, and so it says here with a print run of roughly 2,000 and its silky black back cover, it's not surprising that CGC has only 15 graded examples, and this was on a thing that they wrote up in, I don't know, who knows how long ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
On this book, boy, the mighty have fallen on this book. I'll tell you that.
At some point, there's a bottom price where I'd almost buy back in this book. Like
$750.
I don't know, but like it's the one character that people seem to sort of like.
Do we think we're at the bottom yet?
No,
that thing's going to continue to drop.
No. I mean, sorry, just in the general of the market.
No.
What do we think the bottom is? How about that?
Well, what do you mean? Like, how long is it going to last until we hit it?
No. I meant pricing. Like,
I don't know. It depends how long it is.
I think we're already at 60 to 90% on most books lost value, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, just watch all the other markets, cars, houses, all that stuff's kind of doing weird things. So I think we've got at least. I think it's going to turn around by the election because they always turn shit around before the election. So,
well, didn't the interest rates improve on housing?
Yeah, it's
slowly.
Janet Yellen came out today and said there was a soft landing.
Yeah, I mean, but there's still some time. So I think we got at least 6 months of stuff being real soft.
And then you got con season.
It also all depends on, and I hate to say this because it's cheesy, but political stuff this year.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, as the election gets closer, they're going to start freeing up money and throw money into the system so everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, they're not.
Oh, this got okay. Oh, this is
with that money,
So this is interesting. Yeah, I'm going to pull this down. Pull that down for a second for me. So Ben Stein want to know who was signed. Sue DeConnick signed it. Kelly Sue DeConnick signed it. Yep. But what I thought was interesting was this was maybe it's different placement. Oh, maybe the same book, 1290.
Yep.
Here, can you zoom in and see
we were doing the market report, and I thought the same book sold like a couple of weeks ago.
026207 1009, 026207 109. So
there were several books that I did either last week or the week before that I saw again. Now I don't know if I had this one in my list, but as I was going through, there were several books that you're like, I just saw this book.
So
they probably canceled the order, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
no, two different sellers. So one's Blizzard, and then one's
So one guy got it and just and immediately put it back up.
So Ice Collectibles, Ice Collectibles sold it for $12.90, right, the first time, and then
what's going on here? What's going on here?
Hold on.
Is it the same number?
Yep.
Yeah, it was the same serial.
And then Blizzard turned around. Our buddy Blizzard turned around and maybe bought it.
Company. That's got to be the same company, dude.
You think so?
No.
Ice and Collectibles.
Ice Collectibles and Blizzard Comics, of course.
No, they're not.
No, Ice and Blizzard
is a Canada thing. I bet somebody bought it thinking they could flip it in the U.S. because Canada, sometimes gets less bids.
Oh,
okay.
The limited market or whatever.
Yeah,
Blizzard's a pretty reputable seller.
Yeah, I think somebody just fucked up and guessed wrong. They're like, oh, there's no way this book's in. So
I must be honest. Blizzard sells enough shit where he can take a 200 or he or she or whoever.
Yeah, they're I don't question their process honestly, but I've seen people try and flip the books off of ice because it's Canada, and they get it in the States and think, well, I'll get more bidders, and they sometimes do, sometimes don't.
And the Canadian dollar right now is really weak.
Why would you sell that book again so fast? Like, that's got to be the dumbest thing.
I mean, again, if you think you can turn around and, I mean,
but do you
some of these dealers are living off 10% margin, man.
Oh, okay.
I mean, shit. I mean,
that makes sense. Like, if they're happy making 10%, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to the big dealers; they live on 10%.
Well, here's the scary part. All the people who bought in 20 through 22, all the dealers, right? And then fucking all the pricing fucking shot down 50 to 70%, you know.
Well, and that's the thing too. So with that, if you're smart about it, even if your books have, like, if you documented your purchases properly, you can write off those losses against your taxes. So like, you can basically reduce your tax footprint if you end up selling a book that took a 20 grand hit. You owe 20 grand less in taxes because that's a 20 grand loss.
I mean, and it's a big difference on your well, theoretically on your eBay, right? When you go 50 to, say you did 50 grand on eBay and sold 2 books at 40, and now you're at 10 grand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, that 20 grand loss, it still hurts. But if we're talking the difference of you bought the book in 2021 and you finally moved in 2023, 2 years is enough time for it to hurt a lot less, and to be able to mitigate your tax footprint. It doesn't feel great, but there's a way to make that balance out. Because again, if Uncle Sam was expecting you to pay, like you said, Dino, pay taxes on 50 grand worth of profit, and you're like, well, actually, I only made 30 G's this year because I lost 20 grand on one of those books that I sold. It's like, okay, well, now you only owe like $2,000 in taxes, $3,000 in taxes versus the potentially 10 or 15 that you would have owed otherwise.
Well, and some of these dealers are just burning so much stuff that they're not worried about some of this stuff in the wash.
I saw our buddy Phil Lee, shout out Phil Lee, Vintage Toys and Comics. He was talking about how con season, like winter cons, are starting to roll around again, right? In some areas, and pricing is not very attractive when on the dealers' boards right now.
No, well, it just depends who it is.
Yeah,
and at a con, they're trying to get the most money, and you got to negotiate, you got to hustle, and you got to do all that stuff. And it's not a good time to be selling books.
So funny that you mentioned that, because, all right, so full transparency, I just sold I think I just dropped off 9 books that I had on auction that ended yesterday, and they all sold and went out the door today. One of those books was a X-Men 101. Actually, it's a book that Red Hood Press, X-Men 101 7.0. I just set the GPA record for this year. Again, we're only 2 weeks into it, but I still beat the 90-day average by about $50-$60. Oh, and I'm like $50 short of the high of last year. So
nice.
So I mean, $435 for a book that I had maybe $200 into.
You're also living on a different thing. This is a side thing. It's also you're pressing, grading, and taking that profit. These dealers that are road warriors and travel show to show, it's not a good time to be making a living on it right now.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you're smart about it. Okay, so I will say you can
the
still.
Hustlers are doing great.
Yeah, if you were smart about it and you got rid of books that you bought during the height of the COVID era, you just took your loss and moved on, you were able to put that money back into other books again and work your way back up again. I mean, there's still people selling collections. I showed up all those X-Men. I mean, I bought most of those books for a grand total of, I think I was $3,000 into all those books. I did the math so far. I've already made my money back off of the sale of like maybe 8 of those. I've already made my money back because the giant size, like I think I had 600 into, and I already sold. I think I put that up on the raffle boards, and yeah, I made over $1,500 off of that book. Yeah. So again, like if you're buying smart, because people are still selling collections, LCS are still picking up collections. Those road warrior guys just need to be smart about what they're doing and not giving people the entire farm for collections,
or spending their profits on books on walls that they think are going to buy up, even though
yeah, I mean, I'm sure people like Just James are doing just fine.
So this is I want to bring this up. I'm actually in Arizona next week. I actually hit up Jesse James, and maybe we'll make some time. Maybe me and you, Brian, roll down to Jesse James' spot and hit up and talk some comics and shoot some shit and yada yada yada.
Yeah, we'll go. Is you bringing the missus with you? What's going on?
The missus, the kids, and then my sister-in-law and stuff. But I'm there for like the whole week, bro, from the 15th to the 22nd. So. All
right. So what we need to do is just set up a time for us to go down to Jesse's, and then we'll go out to lunch or dinner with.
I'm literally 20 minutes away from Jesse, or like 15. I'm in Tolson or some shit. Yeah, like south of Glendale, west of Phoenix. There.
Yeah. Perfect, dude. Perfect. All right. Yeah. Let's do it.
Somebody put that comic dealers are living like it's 2020. They're living like it's car dealers are also living like they're 2020. They haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't want to accept the loss. Like, I mean, that's one thing about being smart about business. Like, yeah, you can't win them all, and you need to understand the sunk cost fallacy and just cut your losses, get them that money back. And because again, if you perpetually have 25 grand tied into a book that you paid 40 grand on, you're not seeing any of that. Just sell the fucking book. You're not going to get that back, but you might be able to reinvest that 25 grand in and make 30 off of it.
It's like stocks, right? It's like stocks. Lose the fucking money, reinvest it into something else, and maybe that'll make 40 grand again. You got to do something. You can't just fucking,
you can't live off of what once was, because like a lot of these vendors, you go to their booth and they're just like, I mean, there's one book I watched in particular because I'm the one who sold it to the fucker. It was a Daredevil 1 7.5 that I cracked and pressed up to a 7.5, and I sold it to him for, I think,
a lot of money,
15 or 16, and that book sat on eBay at like $3 grand over what I sold it for forever, and then it finally sold, and I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure that they had to let it go for like 11 or 12. But hey, they still got 75% of their fucking money back, and then went and invested that in something else.
Yeah,
and they'll write that loss off on their taxes and move on about their business.
Yep.
Okay, I got you.
All right, here's one for you, Deviants. This was a first I've seen in the comic area. Hustler News, January 72, first issue. This appears to be news from the Hustler Club.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into the weeds of it all. I assume it predates Hustler magazine, but it's a wild one for you.
Yeah, you imagine seeing somebody like it on a bus reading that. You know what I mean? Just
yeah. Where did they find this?
Well, the thing too is, you think CDC grades this?
Fucking A.
Probably not.
I mean, this is like the NECC newsletter of comics of nudie magazines.
This is totally found in a storage unit.
Yeah,
like a preview of a breast.
If they grade Spirit pullouts, the Spirit
little
magazine things, I'm sure they'll grade this.
Yeah, why not? Nothing else. Get in one of them poster frames things.
They got to figure out something really quick about all this craziness that's going on and change their case immediately before they think about anything else.
They'll figure that out. They got money for that. They're living in under a big company now.
Yeah.
This was just one I saw that I don't.
I love this cover.
I saw this in a market report the other week, and I didn't choose to use it, and it came back around. So I think Blizzard bought this one and resold it, if we look, or somebody didn't pay him, one or the other. Like, I saw this a week or two ago, but I didn't choose to show it because we were running long. But this is a wicked cover, I thought.
There's a 6.0 right now sitting on eBay for $5 grand.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I don't love it enough for that. I just thought it was unique and kind of cool, something different.
There was one a week ago. It was raw.
Oh, it was raw.
It was raw. Yeah, one was raw for $5.35. Another one was raw for $7. Is that one raw too? No,
this was a 1.0.
So this is $7.60 for another one, a raw one. Wow,
so somebody must have sold one, and everyone went, "Oh, there's money in that."
Yeah, I think so. Like, hey, do I got that lying around? Like, which is weird.
Yeah.
So first appearance of the devil in comics? Is that what we're looking at here?
No,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, right.
I just thought it was a cool looking,
I love that cover. I'd buy it.
Vibe. Max Ashcan yellow. Qualified, of course, but solid numbers on that. Always a
there are
tough look.
so many of these different Max like color variants. I mean, was it there's like the blue foil, the red foil, the yellow, the green, the traditional full color cover. Like it is hard to keep them all fucking straight at this point.
I'm just buying them all for $1 now.
Well, somebody's putting together collections at this point, or putting together sets, or whatever they do.
Well, I mean, that news, I mean, let's not forget, like, we've recently had it's still happening news from, I mean, it was a pre-COVID announcement of the Max happening. Yeah. And people started snatching up, what is it, his true first appearance,
darker images.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, darker image and the first appearances and stuff like that. I've got a stack of them sitting actually behind me that I finally need to get graded. Because
I like the 3D one of number 1. There's like a 3D.
Is it 3D or glow in the dark? You're thinking?
Maybe I think they might be both.
I know there's a glow in the dark. I don't know about. I never saw a 3D.
I like the lizard one with the middle fingers in there. Or the claws. It's really his claws, I guess, or whatever. But it looks like
I don't recall a 3D, but I think you're thinking glow in the dark. But I could
maybe.
No. There's a 3D. Hold on.
Okay.
3D.
Yeah.
Oh, never judge McClay.
Listen, he's got it.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Like I said, there's so many of these
with the glasses.
With the glasses. Even though they don't have the fucking glasses on the pages.
Look at that Wildstorm Resident Evil mag on the background.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. That Wildstorm, that Resident Evil, I think that's drawn by Jim Lee, right?
And I think so.
Yeah. That's Jim Lee.
Yeah, it says includes Jim Lee.
Magazine size, yeah.
Look at you guys with the knowledge.
Listen. Hey, it's like Captain Planet when the fucking powers unite, fucking Captain Planet comes out.
Here was speaking of NEC, this was one. I've never looked beyond like the Tick appearances, but this is issue 44, 45. It's in a sealed pack, they said. I don't really know what that means. I was surprised it would be sealed. I assume maybe it's just in a bag. But it appears to me that like maybe NEC newsletter tried to be a bigger thing than just one shop, because to have that cover. But either way, it's pretty cool if you're a Predator collector.
I was like, question, does this predate Predator 1?
Probably.
I think Predator was 90.
Badass cover.
That looks great, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's like all those other little comic shop newsletters. I can't think of all the names, but
it just does, because Predator 1 was July 1st of '89.
Oh wow!
So got a true first for you.
Cool, right there.
I mean, how many of those are you gonna find?
Not many. That is fucking cool. Looks awesome.
Probably like the 100 that's survived the dumpster.
Yeah, I mean,
from the store throwing the rest of the way.
Hey, shout out New England Comics, man.
Well, and also that's technically not the same artwork. It is slightly different.
Yeah, it looks a little bit off, man. Like color, maybe color.
Well, not even just color. So, like, somebody pull up and compare. Like, part of the like this is the full artwork, and looks like they trimmed it for the cover. It is zoomed in and trimmed for the cover.
Oh, where you don't see the full, like,
the
full skyline.
I'll let Dino pull that up.
I got you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do it. Let's fucking go.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is wider.
Oh,
so I wonder if they actually got the original artwork and then Homeboy or whoever resold it. I mean, that's what, De La Rosa who did that on?
But it's a previews magazine. I don't even think they couldn't use it.
It was De La Rosa art, but Chris Warner did the cover.
I mean, it wasn't probably considered theft. It was considered a preview.
Well, but I think though is the artwork might have been. I mean, they had it first, so they might have bought the artwork to use on their cover. Because back then things were a little bit kind of like wonkier about the whole copyright thing when it came to like it being enforced as far as original artwork concerned. And it's different enough that it would probably pass the sniff test for copyright infringement, because it has to be at least 20% different is what they say.
Or Dark Horse just wanted their book promoted.
That's also true. So,
dang, what's the Unabomber we're doing with a bunch of the newsletters?
Hey man, you don't worry about what he's doing. Okay, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in New England, maybe you gotta look for some of those other ones. Who knows what's out there? I didn't know to look for any more of them.
Nobody cares about New England, bro.
Dude, I will say that, like, I mean, not specifically New England, but in general, like, if you can find yourself in a part of the world where a certain niche of comic was available. I mean, we are talking about the international stuff down. If you can make your way down to Mexico and find this hole in the walls, but I found so much stuff when I was living in the Portland area, but like that was like old Dark Horse shit and old indie comics that had worked their way out of like Northern California, because it was just like this was their local shit, and it just like ended up in the basement of some random LCS for years and never saw the light of day. But yeah, you could find all kinds of random old Dark Horse stuff back in the day when I was in Portland, like, you know, constant finding old Star Wars stuff, Predator, like real clean copies of Predator 1 would pop up, Alien 1. So yeah, I mean, it was, you know, hit those regional shops up, you can definitely find shit.
I mean, so I want to know on this panel Chicago stuff.
Yeah, so I want to know who on this panel wants like some of those Lobos like Taylor Swift books, because that's a local shop to me that I can go pick them up.
I mean, they're selling for like $300 right now, bro.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're moving good money now.
Yeah,
well, it's not the homage cover.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's the one that did all the different colors, but it's the same cover.
Listen, no one gives a fuck about that. Okay, no,
I'll make sure to ask International Comics then instead.
So they did it. So in Detroit, they had a triple fanfare. You know, they had the convention back in the day. They did a lot of art. I got a lot of art from that. Neil Adams did a bunch of covers back in the day and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Anyways,
I don't know. I don't have much to say about this, but I just thought it was cool. 9/8. Yeah. This is is that magazine size or not? I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, those damn magazines in 9/8 is impressive. Speaking of, I always talk this book is investment graded a 9.0, and finally one popped up. Because 8.0, 8.5 is pseudo common, but you get 9, you're hitting the rare air.
See, I hate to say it. 25.50 seems cheap to me.
It really does,
right?
There's enough above, but not a ton. It's not.
I just think this if Gunn does Deadman, it's over, dude.
It could be.
Deadman's a great fucking character.
He is a great character.
Yeah, I just like I said, that's a big buy.
I mean, has it not been confirmed yet that Deadman's gonna be in one of the upcoming films?
I don't think it's been announced.
Okay.
I think it's assumed he'll show up some point. Seems too James Gunny not to.
Yeah.
Not quite a grade I want, but I love seeing the Dr. Solar, the old Gold Key books, 7.5. I'd love to get the OG triple threat in 8.0 and above, but I can never find any of them. So, what's this one? I don't even know what book this is. Hold on. No. Also another big magazine. I love this cover. I used to want to get a 9.8 and prices beat me on it, so I have not. But gorgeous cover. Another one, Blast from the Past. This one is all kinds of stories, all kinds of fun stuff.
Mighty have fallen.
I'd buy that. I would buy that, dude.
Yeah, $300,
it's probably going to drop more. If that hits 200, I'd be buying that all day
just to have it.
I guarantee that book goes up right before Valentine's. You know what I mean?
This book just has so many stories to it. Like, I fell off a truck. I don't even remember all the versions of the story, but it's funny.
I mean, also, like, let's be real about it. You know, they pushed back the next Spider-Verse film, but if anything, like Miles, I swear to God, like, we get it within like 3 to 4 months of the next Spider-Verse movie comes out, and then his first appearance jumps up being a $2,000 book again, and everything subsequently around him like jumps in value too. So, yeah, this is absolutely a buy that you could probably flip. You know, moving into the first couple of months out from the new Spider-Verse shopping.
I like this comment. Now's a great time to grade your stuff to investment grade books, sell your lower graded, or trade at LCS for high grade stuff, or cons or anything like that.
Yeah,
I might take some books with me
if you got enough.
Not a bad play. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys on Facebook groups who are looking for getting out of one big book and working their way into smaller books. So,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that if that's the case, if that's the move to get out of your books and into like higher grade books, why not get out of your books and this is for investment, why not get out of those books and get into original art? Right?
I mean, it's not a bad play. It's just, it's
Art doesn't seem to be as hit yet.
I mean, the cost of entry for the original art. Like I wish Leg was on right now. I mean, well, hell, you were there at Dinesh's thing, and I ran into a couple of his people who were like his buddies from the original art scene, and those guys are like, I mean, they're just in a whole nother
you can get that stuff, but you can get some interesting pieces.
Yeah, you can get new original art. You can get some classic sketches. It doesn't have to be, you can get Jack Kirby little sketches on freaking napkins and stuff for cheap. We go through them. I'm sure you go through them all the time in the market report too, John. Like there was a Kurt Swan Superman piece that sold a few weeks ago on eBay for cheap as hell. Like that's the stuff that's gonna be crazy.
Well, I don't know. I think it just depends on who you are, what you're looking for. I like art. Not everybody does. And some people, I think I've been in it long enough that I'm never going to get. I've got to the top of where I'm likely going to get on some of these books. I'm not going to get to the, 6-figure books. I'm not going to get to the high 5-figure books. I'm just not going to spend that much money. I've topped out and I've had where I own most of the books that I've wanted in the highest grade that I think is reasonable. And at that point, some of them I've got bored of and I sell and I buy something different. And that's why I travel down all these rabbit holes of art and foreigns. And I just like to see different things. And sometimes you get them and you get bored and you move on. But there's other collectors that, hey, they've had some low grade stuff and they want to trade into like that one dream book.
Everybody wants to go to original art nowadays. You can still pick up OA for $500 or less. Yeah. Go to indie artists on the come up. That's a good idea.
I think maybe I've spent $1,000 on a piece of art. Maybe most of my stuff
I spent $200 on a Captain America or Captain Planet fucking cover.
I'm really trying to
no
think.
Comment.
Hey,
I think most of my stuff's the video game art cost me like $1,000, but most of the rest of it is $300, $500. Some of it less. If you really want to get demented, go into foreign original art, man.
Yeah, well, that's like buying like oil paintings and stuff like that. I mean, because I talked to Josh and stuff like that, and I've tried to help him sell some of the, that Brazilian collectors like Jaime Cortez pieces, but that's like super niche to even that. Like, people with the OA money, they're not really interested in something like that.
Well, and the thing too,
I got to shoot Brian my favorite piece. I got to find it for him.
Art's right. We always talk about art's value is what the person who's buying it's willing to pay, right? I mean, that's the other tricky side of the thing. I mean, you think something worth $500, it's stuff.
Right.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I bought one of my favorite pieces for $100, but it's Mexican art. It's aliens and flying saucers and a Mexican superhero.
Hell yeah.
I'll pull it up after the market report for you, McClay. I got to pull it up.
All right.
Tick 1. I got to always include this, the special edition. I mean, this book seems to live at 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. It never seems to be anywhere in between those. It always feels like it's one of those 3 price points. And it's down right now, but that's okay. He's a weird hero that has his day and then he doesn't. He's like the lost cousin.
Yeah, it's like a super niche market though, too, right?
I feel like these are the type of books though that instead of dropping to like 60 to 90% of their value, they're kind of leveling out back to what they should be.
Yeah. He had a little bump, but like there was a point it was $2K, but there was a show on and whatever. But it generally flips in that 1,000 to 1,500. I think there was a 2K sale, and I might have traded for Koi at maybe that high point. That was dumb of me, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm gonna see Koi soon.
Oh, yeah. He's still out in the world, huh?
Yeah. So yes, some of us from Houston are gonna meet up and go to a card show and then eat at his parents' restaurant.
Oh, I thought Koi was in cards. I'm like, whoa.
No. Yeah. Since it's like the show's on the north side and that's where his restaurant is. Yeah.
I miss Koi.
I do too.
All right. I was digging through sorting out my closet, and I hit the comic T-shirt page, and I still love the Walking Dead cover with him that they did.
Well, what sparked that plan too was because someone was like, someone in the live chat on Beyond Wednesday was like, they're like, you're saying segue wrong, and then
oh hell. All right, one last book for you folks. That's
me.
This is
I didn't win it, but
a lot of 30. None of the other big keys were in there. It didn't have the Ghost Rider. It had the Frazetta, one of the Frazettas.
It was Ghost Rider 5 or 6. That's all maybe.
It had the kind of the least exciting Frazetta cover with the cowboy on one side and the horse on the other.
Right.
But this book with the Zodiac Killer thing, it's pretty clean. It does have a spine split on it. But who was our boy Four Color was saying it's the cleanest version he's seen in a long time. So that is a niche collection for people.
$1,800 still respectable too. Yeah, it was at like 400 for the longest time, and then the last couple seconds it went up. Like,
somebody's gonna grade that and be real happy. All right, I'm gonna step away. Just
okay, he's gonna step away. So, I don't know. What
I would love to.
Whatever he was explaining, he muted himself.
Yeah, he doesn't care about us.
But I mean, I think he was to grab
He's
that
gonna
one piece.
step away. Y'all go fuck yourselves.
Hey, all I know. Look at the scoreboard right now, boys. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Is there some event going on in Houston that I should be like caring about?
You should be at it, dude. What are you doing?
I had tickets. No, I'm just joking.
So,
I didn't want to get stuck in traffic on my way out.
No shit. And
No,
you don't
yeah,
want to be
I-
anywhere. You don't want to be anywhere near Reliant, bro.
I mean,
it's
like
horrible.
because
Is the playoffs are going on right now?
The national championship.
National championship.
there's
college.
play. Oh shit!
Oh wow, dude.
I got it for $100. It's Phantomus. The guy in the white mask is a Mexican character, but this art was just like, holy shit!
Is that a published piece?
Yeah. It's a Mexican published
God.
piece.
That is beyond amazing.
Right? It is just psychedelically crazy.
Yeah, and that Phantomos character is badass.
Right? This is probably my favorite piece of art, and it is the cheapest I've purchased.
Bro, that looks fucking expensive, bro.
Right?
I know.
I got a little hooked up because a buddy of mine bought several, and he didn't love that one. So
And you put it in a Michael's fucking frame. I'm joking.
on a Michael's frame.
Come on, let's go.
That's all I can afford.
Hey, I'm in the same boat, brother.
Hey, this
You
is
got
a Target
pickups?
frame. This is a Target frame.
Oh
Yeah,
You got
I got to pick up. I don't know. You didn't have to see me open it, but I will.
let's go. Hey, that's what we do here.
It's
I
not a
don't
cool-
have any pickups. I'm a loser.
It's not a
I
comic.
actually I do have some pickups.
Oh, well, nobody cares about your cards.
No,
not a card.
it's comics actually.
Gotta be careful.
Oh boy.
This is Leg and I follow this group. Oh shit!
Oh boy.
Be careful.
Don't breathe on it.
Yeah, I know. It's goddamn toys.
Oh, you and your fucking toy. God damn.
I don't
You
buy
and
toys,
Carter.
but Leg talked me into it.
Oh, you gotta talk to Carter about toys. He's
Skeletor?
No,
you
this
got
is
the Primes.
Oh,
the
nice.
Trap Toys group. They
Yeah.
did the Easy He.
Yeah.
They did Ghost Busta. So this is limited to 80, and then there's 20 of a variant. So I thought it was pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
right.
So
I
did you
think
join?
Brian, yeah, Brian showed that on
Z?
Mayhem. We were looking at those
Oh, who
a
had
while
it?
back.
Did you show that? Did you join the Patreon for
Yes.
that group? Yeah.
Because I want the Easy He statue.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I know
Yeah,
Sean's in it. Are you in it?
I'm contemplating it, man.
Well,
I missed
know-
the Easy He toy because I've tried to get that so many times and I can't seem to
The
score it.
statue's better.
So I'm like, all right, I'll spend the money on the statue, and then I
Yeah.
get in the Patreon and I get the toys. And if I like it, cool. And if I don't, cool. But I thought this one was neat enough that I'm like, yeah, I'll add this to the pile. I don't like reselling toys because they're so fucking, you bing the corner of the box and it goes to hell on you.
Hey, this is a funny comment. If you're going, oh wait, remember Frank Miller 1995 before you're eating good as Miller circa 2020s you're eating under a bridge. That's comment of the year right there.
Oh God!
Shit. Hey, I really like that Wolverine cover you just bumped out.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Come on, boys!
Nightmare fuel.
Yo, give me the OA for that shit, bro. Okay, who else has pickups? Because I don't have any. Anybody else?
I do. I got.
Okay. I have some.
Okay, we'll go. We'll go.
That is wild, by the way. That 84.
Hey, we'll go here since you only got what 84 tops, right?
84 tops.
Baseball.
What's the big hits there?
Daryl Strawberry rookie, Don Mattingly rookie, second year Gwen, second year Boggs,
second year Sandberg.
Second year Sandberg, third year Ripken.
Okay. That was like the year before I got in, so it's like not when I think about it.
And Mattingly are the two big guys.
Oh yeah,
nice.
But I like the idea of your.
Look how clean the box is, dude.
You popping it open, or you saving it for a rainy day? You selling it later?
Nah, this is for the PC, man.
Okay.
Like
now
I can put it with my 85 tops, my 86 tops.
Oh, you got boxed each, huh?
Oh yeah, I go all the way to like 92 with.
So one of my guys at
93 with Jeter. So
one of my guys at work every year bought a top set from, I think from the 70s on all the way to today.
Whoa!
Oh wow.
He's got multiple Gretzky's, multiple Gretzky's, multiple Jordans, multiple Trouts. I mean, this dude's got a car. I've been telling him, he's like, I'm going to sell him, Dino, but I'm nervous because it's big money. I said, don't worry, I'll take care of you. So whenever that time becomes, me and him will have a nice.
Hey, I bought 3 Jordans from a guy like that this last year. I bought three. I bought 3 Jordans, and I bought a complete. The guy opened, him and his cousins each opened a box. And there was 3 Jordans and 3 of every other player, and I bought them all.
Nice.
From a guy that did the same thing like you're talking about, Dino.
Okay. Mr. Colbert.
All right, so I snatched up one of the J. Scott Campbell mystery boxes because it was good to me last time. We'll see if it's good to me again. Heavy on the signatures, but it's stuff that people want apparently. So, yep. So, Amazing Spider-Man 14. This cover seems to be going for a solid $50 to $60 online. So
how much was the mystery box?
$89 plus shipping. So
$100 probably.
I got one in my cart right now.
Yeah, basically $100. And the funny thing is that like there's at least 2 or 3 books in here that'll make me even. So this gets me halfway there. This one right here, because it's apparently even as a 99-cent auction, I think the lowest I saw one go for was like in the 40s. So that guy. This one has missed his day in the sun, but again, the Campbell fans will pay for his signature. So that guy, again, signed with the COA, sealed and solid. So Jean Grey signed.
Does he drop them, like just drop them, or is it just on the website? Or
yeah, so it's on the website. If you bought from them before, you'll get an email about when these things are coming. But yeah, it's just basically like, drops them on the website. You buy as many, or they limited this one to one per customer unless you had different email addresses. I didn't try to grab more than one. So the X-Men Black 1 Magneto signed as well.
Oh, look at that. He already said, Stein said you did better than I did in my box.
Oh, shit. Honestly, I was tempted to keep this one just because I think this is a really cool cover for.
Oh, that's the Virgin.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, man, that's just kind of cool. I mean, I'm not the biggest Spider-Woman fan, but it's just a cool cover. And again, we always talk about the people who ship the cleanest. I mean, all of these, if not signed, these could all easily be 9.8, like sent off the CTC.
Speaking of original art right now, J. Scott Campbell's selling original art on his page too.
Yeah, and he's selling the Ultimate Comics or Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the 1 in 500 cover. Like, isn't that up for grabs?
I don't see it on here. I put new. I mean, probably.
I got an email. It is, and then like if you want to buy some other original art, you've got to email them.
Inquire.
And to inquire, so they know you're serious.
Yeah, and then this is the last one off the set. I've had this one before, so. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent enough spread, and I'm pretty sure I'll make my money back on it. So again, it's not a bad buy.
Nice.
Cool. People are excited in Michigan right now. Okay.
Win? Yeah. So speaking of 84,
Oh boy.
Talking about this Otani second year. I just got
no one cares about him in Angels anymore. Okay.
Yeah. People still buy his card. So okay, but anyways,
so me that 83, bro.
The 83, that's in the e-vault. I have to keep at least one Otani rookie for my own.
Hey, we got to pause because Stein showed up.
I know. Well,
hey,
who do you think sent him the link?
I know you're the man. You just yeah.
So what's up, fellas?
Hey, no much, brother.
Hey.
Man, we really got the band together, man. Look who checked in, man. Don Handley down there on drums. Let's go, baby.
I'm sorry that Michigan won, I guess. I mean, would you want to see Washington beat Michigan, Stein?
I was okay with them beating Alabama. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I guess I don't want to see Harbaugh happy, but
I'm not the biggest Harbaugh fan. As a Michigan guy, even as a Michigan fan, I'm not the biggest Harbaugh fan. I honestly hope he leaves, even though he'll never do it. And they're just going to give him the monster contract forever, the whole Joe Paterno fucking lifetime award.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, let's not pretend like if all this shit done into coming out that he knew about homeboy was traveling to those games, they're gonna strip this shit away. Like this.
They do that shit, man. They don't.
Yeah, but then when it's public like this, and all of a sudden, because I swear to God, the FBI ain't got shit better to investigate. But
that's probably true.
Like once they got involved, man, like if this starts looking like USC circa 2003,
same thing. He's gonna be with the Chargers.
Hey man, Reggie Bush just wanted a house and a car, man. Okay, give him back his Heisman, goddamn it.
And they took the
nowadays he'd be living like a king.
They took the Heisman and all the wins away.
Give him back that Heisman, and fuck yeah.
Yeah, they wiped all those wins. Like it's funny because my girl, she's a Michigan alum, and she's just like. This may not even matter. She's like, they may snatch all this shit back from us.
Hey, I got my winnings for football. That's cool. Fantasy football, I'll take it. I didn't get my winning for baseball yet. Fucking A.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I went to Half Price Books that I hadn't been to in a while because at my shop, Half Price, there was a girl that used to work at a comic shop. So she just used to pull all the keys and then price up everything. But I don't think she works there anymore because I found these like Adam Hughes covers.
Oh yeah,
for $2 a piece, right?
And McClay, is there a Half Price Books in Arizona?
And then
there is, but they don't do. Last time I remember, they quit doing comics. So,
and then this last issue is a newsstand.
Ooh. Oh shit!
Huh.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
a tough book.
Yeah, so I bought a full set for $2 a piece, or each book for $2 a piece.
I'll tell you the places to go, though, Dino.
Okay.
But check out all these Wolverine books that are newsstands. These are all modern newsstands. So there's this book, issue 3 of this one. Issue
you find 4. One newsstand, they tend to travel in packs,
Yeah, this is issue 5. And then it jumps up to like issue 12, 14, and
I remember reading that
15.
Run.
Yeah. And 15. So these are all newsstand. What year is that? Do you happen to remember?
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Right? Mid 2000s.
It's when they started to count
around
over
2010.
Again. Yeah, it's when they started to count over again on.
Oh, so it's towards the end of the newsstand era too.
Yeah, because that was like actually when I got back in, that was one of the things I was reading, like as back into the hobby. That and sadly, it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer that got me back in reading, but that and Buffy.
Nice.
So about that time.
Yeah. So I was surprised to find a big chunk of this run, just sitting there in newsstands for $2 a piece. I was like, I don't care what's inside the issues. These are modern newsstands. Like, I'm gonna pick them up. Like, I was like,
I mean, that's a smart buy, man, because people are trying to complete runs of newsstands like that Wolverine series.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and they're clean copies too. They look really high grade. So I mean, I need to check the backs and all that stuff. But I mean, what am I really risking? Like $2 a piece? And even if I sell them like individually on eBay for like, I don't know, $10 a piece or whatever. Like some
might even do well as a lot on that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Depending, you never know.
Yeah.
Did you go check the magazines, G?
I did. They didn't have a lot. Yeah. This location.
Check those magazines, man.
Well, they separate.
Because sometimes they have bundles, dude.
Yeah, this location separates their magazines and stuff like that. Like they pull all the what you would find in a comic book shop on the side, and then they have like standard periodicals or magazines that you would find in anywhere, like somewhere in the back.
Did they have any big books like slabs or anything like that?
No, that shop doesn't really have that. Like there were a few books in the lock case that was like kind of like maybe I should buy that because it's like $5-10. Like for example, like the issue 1 of High Republic, the Stephanie Hans cover.
Oh,
that had that
for,
like
$5-10 books in the lock case.
Yes, dude, that's so fucking stupid, man.
It depends. I have 4 half price here, and one of them is like the cheapest shit there, and there's one down south of town that's like got $1,000 book up all the time.
So Second and Charles is the same with me. They do like $25 books and above. They had Secret Wars 8. I didn't even look at it. It was like it went on $175 for it. I didn't even look at the grade because I know it's probably not high grade. They had a slab 180, but it was a green label, and it was like a 6.5 maybe or 5. It was like mid grade, and they wanted like 1,800 or something. Like
that's crazy because like I saw on Instagram you could buy a blue label 7.5 180 for like.
That's why I'll sit there until it dies.
Like $750, $700. Something.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Anyways, who anybody else got picks? Nobody? Is that cool? Cool. Hey, I guess we'll talk about we got to do this more.
Echo.
Yeah, Echo drops tomorrow. We all know Echo drops in 30 minutes maybe. Did it drop midnight, boys?
Are they gonna drop? Are they gonna drop it at midnight or 4 in the morning?
I thought they stopped doing that.
You're talking to I have a kid, so I go to bed at like 9 o'clock now.
Yeah. It was up late.
I'm past my bedtime already, boys.
I just want to celebrate,
Tuesday,
bro, right?
January 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, okay. Can't wait.
That means it'll land in the same time at 2 a.m. on Wednesday, January 10th in the UK. For all your UK watchers.
Yeah, when are we? I gotta get back into Stein packs. I missed the last like couple of drops. I'm a loser
because they sell out in 2 minutes now.
Well, the problem is I get busy at work and
he's famous.
I know he's famous.
I don't know which Ape Sapien he's talking about.
Oh, the one from the market report.
Oh, he wasn't here then. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll pull it up for you because
I guess
it was probably the David Mack one.
Nope.
It's probably the one that I had.
Yeah, I'll do it. I got it. It's this one. There you go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. That one?
Crap. Nope.
So this is Ape Sapien 9 from 2014 version?
No, the one that I had was like Ape Sapien, maybe like 21 or 32 or something. It's that David Mack cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd never seen this book. Like none of us were like, what the fuck is that? So,
that's pretty cool.
$300 book. So.
Nola, right?
Yeah.
Just when it's a weird, obscure book and you don't know, you got to ask Stein. If he doesn't know, then you buy it.
No, you ask. No, if you really don't know, you ask Topher, then you buy it.
And that's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Hey.
And if he doesn't know, then you ask DeVoe, and DeVoe will find the answer for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or
knows someone that can find the answer.
I appreciate everyone showing up and 300. I guess that's a big deal. I don't know.
It is a big deal.
Okay, I don't know.
No, the big deal is going to be 301, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
301.
Yeah, so 301. The thumbnail is going to be an all white background.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, like everybody thinks I have some Will Arm, like whole comic community. Anybody's allowed on the show. I don't have no fucking qualms with people.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Anybody's allowed on the show?
Well, our friends.
Unless you're on the blacklist.
Well,
yeah.
Anybody's allowed? What? No, we worked hard to get on this fucking show, right?
Hey.
God damn it, dude.
Boy.
Are we all on the blacklist?
Eventually. Hey, 2024. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf.
We have low standards. We let Paul on.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, when they start having our pictures at like the security office at conventions, that say you're not allowed in, I think that's when we're on all the ban lists.
Yeah, well, I was accused I wasn't allowed another Comic-Con in Michigan, but we won't go down that.
This feels pretty good. This feels like trying to get mom and dad back together, bro.
Yeah, you know,
it's that time here.
Yeah, it's like that third drop off at the McDonald's restaurant at 9 o'clock in the morning when you're dropping off your, you know, and you're like, oh man, my mom and dad are gonna get back together. That's fucking terrible. Is Uncle Rico still around? Shit, man, I don't know. So anyways, I don't know. No, I appreciate everybody. 300, maybe we can go to 400, 500, yada yada yada.
That's a lot of fucking shows, man.
I know it's a lot of fucking shows. Flipside. Sorry.
So if you get to episode 420, that means everyone has to smoke on the panel.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, everyone's wearing sunglasses.
I'll need it for my glaucoma by then.
Yeah, we know what's right. So we're gonna do Flipside Comic-Con eventually. I was thinking what we said April, but Motor City's in May. I think that'll fuck us because a lot of people won't show up. I don't think because I'm saving money for May. So
you tell me what you're thinking. Okay. April's a shit show for me, so
maybe June. June too with kids. Kids are getting out of school, so maybe that's better.
Well, I think the only time I'm booked is 4th of July. So
okay.
April's messy because I got travel soccer, man. Stein knows my pain.
Oh, congratulations to your daughter, right? Didn't she get accepted a scholarship in college, right?
Yeah, D3. Yeah,
D3.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah. Everybody thinks I don't pay attention to the world of everybody. I know everything, dog. I see it. I don't comment, but I see it.
You got a lot of interns watching, huh?
Hey, man, I got to pay these fucking people. I got the double infinity pool in the back. I got to figure that out. No, I appreciate everybody. I guess I like me and Z started to said at the beginning. I didn't think it was going to go fucking more than 10 episodes. To go 300 is fucking crazy, especially with all the drama and all the other shit that's everyone's.
Oh man, those first few shows were horrible.
Horrible.
Please don't listen to them.
Yeah, they were so bad.
There was some good moments in there, though.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, no, that's all good.
We should have tracked down Scotty Regan.
At this point, do you know how to podcast now? After 300 episodes?
No, fuck no, we don't know. We got to get to. I don't know if Anthony and Laura want to come on too. I don't know. I didn't talk to them, but if they want to hang out for Bird City. Brian, I know Brian's happened.
I haven't talked to Laura in a minute. I gotta say,
I don't know. I'm just, it's my wife's like, boy, you know more people in Arizona. It's a fucking. I'm like, fuck the person.
I thought you were talking about coming on here. Yeah, they'll definitely hang out.
Fuck I don't know, man. I'm just, I'm only there for a week, so.
When are you coming in again? Next
15th to the 22nd, so Monday through Monday.
Perfect.
I leave on
Monday. What we'll do is Anthony and Laura we'll just there's this really cool dive bar down here that's owned by some big comic people, and it's just like this perfect dive bar, dude. Okay. It's got an old school cigarette pack in it. It's got nice. One old school dart machine, and it's always playing like Aliens and good tunes and shit. So we'll go there.
It actually has one of those operational old school cigarette machines where you
yeah,
that's badass.
Wait, you want to hear something even wild, boys? Here, so I went to this hole bar up in Northfield, which is like predominantly like $500,000, $1 million like executive homes. They got this bar. They have so it's before my time too, because I remember cigarette machines when I was young. They had a wood cutout for and they have like cools, some other shit, blah 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 blah, and they have like wood little boxes, and you just go behind. It's all cash, and you just give them some money, and they pull out a cigarette box and give it to you from a wood structure in the back. It's crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Shout out Late Night Comics. Cheers for $5 the next 300, man. Well, I know about next 300, but
so the building
we'll be trading on the Young Avengers for 300 or for 600.
So the building I work at, it had one of the original computers where it had the punch cards.
Oh yeah.
And then it has within the area where you used to store all the punch cards, they still have those boxes still built into the walls and everything. And then they converted them into like mailboxes for people. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting that I found that out like from someone like that's been at the school forever, right? That they're like, yeah, one of the old school like computers used to be there, and that's why they have all those built-in shelves and the boxes on the walls. I was like, that's cool.
Nice.
Cool. All right. I guess that's it. Unless anybody's got anything else to say.
Hell no. Good shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
Congrats,
we'll see.
Congrats, Dino.
Thanks, man. It's not all me. It's all you guys. I say I'm the CEO, but it's really you guys. I don't. Yeah. So hopefully, we can get everybody around more 301, 3 or whatever. We'll holler at everybody. I'm out next week. I'm out the next week after that, Z, probably, because I'm coming home that week. So
I gotta behave.
You're a 2-weeker, bro. You gotta hold this thing down.
I'm a little worried about my computer. I gotta fix that shit.
We'll buy you a new computer or something.
Tax returns coming back soon, right?
Hey, it can't be worse than George's fucking 1995 fucking Macintosh user.
Yeah.
So, and his fucking internet is terrible. But all right. So we'll catch everybody later. We appreciate it. All love, all the good stuff, and we're out. So we'll talk to everybody later. So